Then I have these idioms and business terms which I use most of the time, and these are like common terms which you might know already, but you might not be using it, or if you are using it, there might be few of them which will definitely help you. And instead of saying some of the longer sentence, you can always say some of these terms which are commonly used in the business environments. And if you are in the technology, in IT, or in the business environment, these are very common idioms and business terms. Some of them you can see like best practices, circle back, as per our discussion, at my radar, under the impression, first hand information. If you go further, like you have the bundle up, catching up, dig down, and for instance, could you rephrase. So most of them, 70 to 80% are self explanatory, and you can understand that. And some of them you might have to dig down, and that will be kind of your assignment as well, because I'm not going to write down or elaborate on every single phrase. But I have highlighted over here. In the next one you can see green signal. It's which is a very common one which we even use in normal life. In the interest of time, this is one of my favorite. In essence too, I use this as well. And then in all fairness, if I may, and giving heads up, gray area, and going to the weeds. This is one of my colleague I learned from. He used that very often. Holistic view, and then I am open to business vocabulary. So there are 350 words, common words, and which are the ones which I have used. I can definitely say, like, which commonly which I use, like 90% of them I use commonly, or I have used. 10% maybe are the one which we use very often, or I have seen in the communication while having it with the leadership, or while having it with the business or colleagues. So I have built up all these, and taken it has taken almost 12 years to learn all of these, but definitely I try to put up all these, and it wasn't that I put up all together in one day, but it has taken me almost 2 months to consolidate all of these. For this one, I have built up Excel which will be attached, which will actually have the meaning of these words as well. That's the effort I have put up as well, which I took the meanings. And these are not just copy and paste words. These are like practical words which I have used. Some of them which I discussed with some of my colleagues as well. They gave me some of the words which I didn't recall, and they were able to recall, and then I just put up all together and consolidated in 350 words. And definitely you will see some of the words which you use, or maybe you don't use but you will learn, or maybe some of them which you have forgotten, or maybe you will use in the future. But I guarantee you that these 350 words are like a gold mine, and over the time I will keep on increasing this. This 350 didn't just come overnight, but more than 2 months I would say I have taken to consolidate all these business vocabulary words. Some of them I will read for you. Agile, it's very common nowadays, and then bottom line is a common one, and then you have align, which we use commonly in our environment in the business, which simply means aligning between two different parties, that you are on the same page. Then inclusion, then you have initiate, intrigue, iteration, then you have deferred, is commonly used, then you have liaison, deploy, and then you have these logical, merge, mimic, navigate, repercussions, and then recurring, realign, reconcile, viable, workaround, workflow, and many of them are related to the IT world, but definitely these are the ones which we even use in the meetings, we use in the communication, we use in the emails, in the presentations. So definitely once you will go through all of it, some of them you will recall which you already knew, and some of them you might use or will be using in future as well. Definitely this will help you. So this is, you can consider it as a bonus. I have given the power phrases, and then I have vocabulary, and then I have these business terms, which if you go through, you will refresh your memory, and some of them you will learn for the future, and definitely it will help you out having this much chunk of information, which I at least didn't really see anywhere together, and I learned it over the time because English is not my native language, and I keep on learning these words, and try to use them in my communication. And definitely I have gotten appreciation from different colleagues and leadership many times on my communication or the documentation I do have very good vocabulary, phrases, and the wording. I always keep on learning. That really helped me at the work.